Thank you guys for joining me today. My name's Amanda. So I'm going to be taking you guys through a little Vinyasa style class. It's going to be centered around gratitude. So really tapping into our heart space, doing a lot of heart openers. We are going to use a few props. So I have a yoga strap that we'll be using. Now if you don't have a yoga strap, no problem. We can also use a scarf or a towel, something like that. And then I always also like to have a block or a pillow, something to sit on, something so you feel really comfortable. But again, yoga props are just an option. If you don't have any or you don't want to use any, no problem. So I'll give you a moment to grab those things and then we'll meet lying down on our backs in Shavasana. All right, so as you rest in Shavasana here, let's just take a deep inhale and exhale. Let's do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. Allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. And with this focus of gratitude, bring someone or something to mind that makes you feel grateful. Allow this thought to radiate throughout your body. Maybe you bring up a thought of gratitude for yourself for showing up today, being here, rolling out your mat, turning this video on. Now let's start to bring a bit of movement into our fingers, into our toes. Wake up the body. Now let's take our feet to the mat with our knees bent and have your strap or your towel close by. So we will squeeze our right knee in towards our chest. Take a couple breaths here. You could extend the left leg long if you wanted. And then let's grab our strap and place the strap just on the arch of your right foot. I like to loop the strap around my hands a couple times. Now the goal here is to straighten this right leg and at the same time start to draw that leg towards you. Keep breathing. You may notice shaking. That's a good thing. Let's take one more breath. And now let's transfer the strap into your left hand and we'll take a bit of a twist. So your right arm can cactus out and let's start to draw that leg over towards the left. Now if this ever becomes too much, you can always bend this knee and come to a more traditional twist. Let's take one more breath and let's bring that leg all the way back up. Take the strap off of the foot and let's bend the knees again. This time let's squeeze the left knee in towards us. Again, you could keep this right foot on the mat or you could extend the leg long. Now let's grab a hold of that strap, placing that in the arch of that left foot. And again, let's work on keeping this left leg straight as we start to pull it towards us. And it's okay if both legs are a little bit different. That's pretty normal. Breathe into this hamstring. Allow the back of the leg to soften. Take another breath. And let's transfer the strap into our right hand, and then we'll bring that leg over towards the right. I'm going to bend my knee because I don't have room. So again, you can always take a more traditional twist. Let's start to come back through center. Place both feet on the mat, and you can move your strap or your scarf off to the side. Now we'll meet in a seated position, so you could either meet us there, or you could start to rock and roll along the length of your mat, eventually coming to a seat. So from here, let's move to a tabletop position. So in our tabletop, we'll have our shoulders stacked right on top of the hands, and our knees are stacked right below our hips. Let's add a few cat-cow movements. So on the inhale, drop the belly, look up. On the exhale, curl the spine, chin comes to the chest. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, press the mat away as you curl the back. Let's do one more. Follow your own breath. And we'll meet in a neutral position. From here, let's take thread the needle. So press into your left hand. Let's reach the right arm up. And take that right hand just under the left. Come all the way down. See if you can really sink down. Allow your chest to move towards the floor. Let's take one more breath here. Press back into that left hand. Twist the right arm open again, and place that right hand back on the mat. Let's move to the other side. So press into your right hand, twist open, lift that left arm, and thread that left hand just behind the right wrist. Let's start to press into that right hand, lift the left arm, and place the left hand down. So let's set up for a modified flow here. Let's take the hands out in front of us. In our modified plank, we really want to have our hands stacked right underneath our shoulders. And as we exhale, we'll squeeze the elbows in as we lower all the way down. On your inhale, press the top of your feet into the mat, lift the chest, cobra. Exhale, come down, press into the hands, and we'll pull back into child's pose. Take a breath. Take a moment here. And let's do that again. So come forward into your modified plank. On the exhale, hug the elbows in, come all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, come down. Inhale, press into the hands, shift back into child's pose. And when you're ready, we'll meet into a tabletop position. So from our tabletop position, let's take the right foot, step it forward into a low lunge. Now you could stay here with the hands on the mat. Hands could come to the thigh or all the way up. Take a couple breaths. On your next exhale, take the hands down to the mat, shift the hips back, half splits. Straighten that front leg. Find one more breath here. Now let's move forward. Place that left hand on the mat. Reach the right arm up, coming to a twisted lunge. You could stay here, or you could start to tuck that left toe, lift the left knee, take one more breath, and take that right hand to the mat. Now when you feel balance between both feet, start to come on up. So the hands could come to the thigh, or the arms could come straight up. High lunge position. Let's take one more breath here. And then on your exhale, let's step forward to mountain pose. On your next inhale, lift the arms, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to the shins. Exhale, forward fold. Let's plant the hands and step back to down dog. Take a couple breaths here in your down dog. Press into the hands, lift the sit bones up. You can have a bit of a bend in through the knees. On your next exhale, let's take the knees to the mat. And we'll do that same flow on the other side. So step that left foot now between the hands, setting up for low lunge. Arms can come up or they can rest on your thigh. Just make sure that you're stacking your knee over top of the ankle. On your next exhale, take the hands to the mat, half split, send the hips back, straighten through that front leg. Keep breathing. Now let's come forward. Plant the right hand this time. We'll set up for that twisted lunge. So left arm reaches up. You could stay in this low version, or you could tuck the toes, lift that knee, reach up. Find one more breath here. And let's take that left hand to the mat. When you feel sturdy, let's come on up, high lunge. Really press through this back leg, lift. And on your next exhale, let's move forward to mountain pose. So let's take a flow here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, take the hands to the shins. And forward fold. Inhale, let's sweep the hands all the way up, come up to mountain pose. Hands come down through our heart. Let's set up for warrior one. So as we inhale, let's lift the right knee. Take a big step back with that right foot. And just check in here with your feet. Make sure that they're about hip distance apart. Bend it through the front knee, warrior one. See if you can lower the shoulders away from the ears. Take another breath. Now let's start to straighten through that front leg. Take the arms down and we'll take the hands behind our back, either on the low back or grab for opposite elbows. Let's take pyramid pose. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward over that front knee. See if you can keep this left leg straight. As you inhale, let's come on back up. Take warrior one more time. Now let's set up for airplane. So take the hands down through the heart, lean forward, press into this left foot, lift the right leg, flex that right foot, and you can reach the arms back. On your inhale, come up to mountain pose. Let's try the other side. Inhale, reach the arms, lift that left leg, and we'll step back to warrior one. Again, adjust your feet if you need to. Press into that back foot, into the outer edge of that back foot. Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Now let's start to straighten that front leg. Take the hands again behind the back. You could grab for opposite elbows. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, fold forward, pyramid pose. On your next inhale, let's start to come on back up. Bend through that front knee, warrior one. From here, let's move to airplane. So take the hands down through heart center, lean forward, press into this right foot, lift the left leg. See if you can drop this left hip. Reach your arms back. Really lift through the chest here, just like you've done in cobra pose. On your next inhale, let's come up to stand. Mountain pose. So from our mountain pose, let's move to dancer. I'm going to move to the middle of my mat just so I have a bit more room. And we'll start with our feet about hip distance apart. And let's shift the weight a little more into our right foot. So reach the right arm up. Let's bend the left knee. Grab a hold of that foot with your left hand. You could stay here, this is perfect, or you can start to kick that left foot back. As you keep kicking, start to hinge forward. And let's start to release. Let's try the other side. So this time, let's anchor down into our left foot. Reach the left arm up. Grab a hold of that right foot with your right hand. Start kicking back. Keep kicking. And then start to reach that left arm forward as you hinge forward. Keep breathing. And then when you're ready, let's start to release. On your next inhale, reach up and let's fold forward. Take a few breaths here in this forward fold. You could grab a hold of opposite elbows. Just allow the head to hang heavy. Allow any tension to let go from the neck. And then let's take our hands down to the mat and we'll step back into down dog. From here, let's do deer pose. So we'll do a bit of a hip opener. Let's kick the left leg up, three-legged dog, and take that right knee just behind the right wrist. We'll sit down on the right hip, and let's just adjust our feet. So we want to have our right shin parallel to the short edge of the mat, and our left shin will be parallel to the long edge of the mat. Make sure that front foot is flexed. You could stay here, or you could start to fold forward. Allow your body to just let go here. Now let's slowly start to come up. And we'll meet back in down dog. Let's try deer on the other side. So three-legged dog, lift that left leg. And let's take the left knee just behind the left wrist. Again, sit down on that left hip. And let's set up our legs. So left shin is parallel to the short edge of the mat. Right shin is parallel to the long edge of the mat. Again, flex that front foot and let's start to fold forward. Now, if you want to intensify this stretch, you can always shift your body a little more to the midline. Now let's slowly start to come on back up. This time let's swing the legs out in front of us and we'll slowly make our way to our backs. So feet are planted on the mat, knees are pointed up, and we'll move down to our backs on the count of 5. Take your arms out in front of you. Start to lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now let's hug the knees into our chest. Take your arms out wide into that T-shape or cactus shape, and we'll take a final spinal twist. So let's bring the knees out to the left. Gaze could come to the right. Let's move back through center, and let's take the knees this time out to the right. Our gaze will come to the left. Let's take one more breath. And then let's bring our knees back through center. Give yourself one final squeeze. And let's take Shavasana. So stretch out, take up your whole mat, and just allow your body to rest here. As you start to awaken the body, let's bring a bit of movement into our fingers, into our toes. Reach your arms overhead. Take a nice morning stretch. Bring your knees in towards your chest. You could rock back and forth a little bit, and eventually we'll make our way to one side. When you're ready, let's come back up to a seated position. As you find your seated position, let's close down the eyes for one final time. Let's just allow this feeling of gratitude back in. Can you find compassion and gratitude here for your own journey, for all your strengths, and for all your struggles? You could start to open the eyes. Thank you guys for being here. Namaste.